Okay, hi everybody, it's Shirley, and I'm back to teach you guys how to make a super easy cake today. Now, before we get going though, we gotta talk about the elephant in the room, okay, which is my bangs. So, I'm trying to grow them out, and that's why I got the clip in, and I gotta tell you, growing out your bangs it's like the worst thing. Alright, so what we're doing today is we're going to make this super easy cake that is so delicious that nobody will ever know that it actually comes from a box, okay? So, what we're going to do is I'm just going to walk you through it. We're just going to get right down to business. So, the first thing that you need is you need a cake mix. And I think I was actually supposed to get a vanilla cake mix, but I got a yellow, so I don't know. Okay, just to give you guys a little bit of the behind the scenes, you know what just happened? So Joyce, can you show them? So we got it fancy set up in here. We got a light and the light just fell. So just a little bit of like the Kardashians ain't got anything on us, you know what I mean? Okay, so here we go. We're gonna open our box and we're gonna put that on in here. Like, I mean, so far you're saying to me, Shirley, this is the best recipe I've ever seen. And now we're gonna open up our box pistachio pudding, okay? And you can use the instant. So, we're just gonna pour that on in here, okay? I mean, alright, this is pretty fancy. But really, this is one of the moistest cakes that I've ever made, I have to say. Oh, it's like fairy dust. Okay, so we're gonna put in half a cup of our oil. And then we're gonna put in half a cup of our OJ. And this is really the secret sauce, okay? It really is. It's the OJ that does it, okay? So that's just, you know, I've seen this recipe around online and it doesn't have the OJ, so this is why you're watching my videos. Okay. And then we're gonna do half a cup of water. I don't think that it matters if it's hot or not or whatever, so we're just gonna put that in there. Now, we also gotta put in our eggs. Alright, so I got enough eggs here to feed Army, as you can see. So, you know, the recipe calls for 2 to 4 eggs. You know, why the hell did they do that? 2 to 4, well, just tell me. Do you want me to put in 3? Do you want me to put, you know what I mean? So, I don't know, I'm going to put in 3, okay? We'll see how it goes. So, I'm going to put in our 3 eggs, and that was salmonella all over there, so we're going to wash that up. Now what we're going to do is we're going to turn this sucker on. I know, right? And we're going to let that go for about 2 minutes. And you know, the other nice thing here is, it's not like there's even anything else that you got to be doing. This is it. So, you know, take the load off, go over, do your dishwasher. Or, okay, actually, I got something to tell you that I've been thinking about. So, I want to tell you guys that when I think that you moms need to give yourselves a break, and you need to stop worrying about your houses, okay? So I was talking to my daughter about this the other day. And when I had my kids, when they were really little, I didn't invite people over, okay? Because I was so worried about the house being a mess. And you know, if I had people over, I would be like, oh, it'd take the whole week to get the house ready and to cook and to clean, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so one day I went over to my good friend's house, okay? And I'm not going to tell you her name, but she lives across the street from me. And so anyway, I'm over there, and I'm walking around, and I was like, you know, Joyce's house is a real mess. Oh, geez, I just told your name. Sorry, Joyce. All right. Well, we've been friends for so long. Who the heck cares, right? Okay. And I noticed. I said, Joyce's house is a real mess, okay? She's got toys all over. There are dirty dishes in the sink. But you know what? I didn't care. She's raising 3 little boys, you know? So, of course her house is a mess, just like my house was a mess. So, the whole point being is after that day, I started having people over. And you know what? If our house was a mess, our house was a mess. And sometimes we'd have people over and we'd order pizza, and I would serve them Oreos for dessert, okay? This is what I'm saying. Don't miss out on fun because you're worried about your house, okay? So, I feel like we just need a new segment on here called Soapbox with Shirley. But, you know, okay. So that's what we're doing for the time while this is going, is I'm telling you to stop worrying about your darn house and have your friends over, even if it's just for a glass of wine, okay? Okay, so, oh, this smells good. You know, I mean, this is the problem with cooking shows, is you can't smell how good that darn thing smells. Okay, that's done. We're going to lift that sucker up, And, okay, now the best thing to do here is to probably just take, I should have used actually, oh darn it. But, okay, so we're going to take this on off. Okay, let's just put that over here. And I would recommend licking it, but, you know, salmonella, I don't want to risk it. So we're not going to do that. Okay, so now this is the only tricky part of the whole situation, and it's not even that tricky. What we're going to do is we got to divide this on out. We can do that, okay, right? So we're going to actually come on over. We're going to get another bowl. Let's get one of these. And, juice. Okay, so just pretend you don't see that. We are going to put about half on in here, okay? If you're going to be all technical, you probably want to do about 2 cups, I think. But, you know, we're not going to be technical because that makes it easier. And then we are going to put in some of our good old Hershey's syrup, okay? And basically with this, we're going to put in a half a cup. Half a cup. Now, the reason that we divide it on out is because this is a fancy looking cake, okay? Mix that on up, and you're going to notice we're going to have 2 different colors going on. Now, if you're really, really fancy, you can add a little bit of green to this side over here and make it like really pistachio, but, you know, I'm not that worried about it. It's just for me and Ron. And, you know, Joyce is going to be taking home the whole cake. Okay, so I got my 2 here. Now we're going to pour them into our bundt cake pan, right? So what you're going to want to do is, normally I don't use, you know, spray because I don't know. I just feel like it's probably a little bit of chemically. But with a bundt pan, you got all these little nooks and crannies. And, you know, it's going to be a real pain if you can't get it on out of there. So, you know, do up the pan, do it really, really well, okay? Now what you're going to do, this is a little tricky, but, you know, it's not tricky compared to some of the other stuff we've been doing. You're going to put down a little bit of layer here of the chocolate. Whoa, all of a sudden I've been watching a lot of Law and Order lately, you know? So, I don't know, suddenly I was from Brooklyn. Alrighty, here we go. We're going to put in some of the green now, you know, ladies? That's what we're talking about. I don't know. This, you know, sometimes I wonder why Ron married me. Because I'm a king of the pants, right? Okay, so now this is going to look really nice. This is going to give us what's called a marble effect. And, you know, it's pretty fancy. I probably should have been a little more green because we want to just really, okay, there we go. Got that all in. Now, you know, you can go as fancy as you want. You can put in layers of it and everything, but, you know, you're a mom. You don't got a lot of time, so we're just going to make it like this, okay? Actually, now that I think about it, I think I was supposed to start with the brown, but we didn't, so there you go, whatever. Sometimes my brain, it scares me, you know, what's going on in here, because there's a lot. Okay, we got our cake. Looks good. Now we're just going to take it, we're going to put it in the oven, and we're going to cook it for, I don't remember how long, but I'll look for you. Okay, so our cake has cooled, and you do want it to cool in the pan because otherwise it's going to get really weird and all that, okay? So we sprayed the pan, and you know, with cakes, you know, you spray the pan. So we're going to just do that, give it a little bit of love, and then we're going to, oh, geez. Okay, so this one, we don't, did you know this? My daughter just told me this. You don't want to actually use a chip plate, okay? Because there gets all sorts of little buggers in there. So don't use that one. We're going to throw that one out. Okay. Oh, crap. This one's chip too. All right, whatever. We're just going to go with it. Okay. So we're going to dump our cake. Look at this. Already we're being impressive because look at how gorgeous that is, okay? It's a cake, so you got to do frosting, okay? So this is the one thing about it that's a little bit of a pain in the neck, but you know what? It doesn't really, you know, it's an easy frosting to make, okay? So all you're going to do is you're just going to take your 2 tablespoons of butter, and let's put those on in here, okay? And you're going to let those melt for a minute. It's not that big of a deal, right? So we're going to take our butter, and then we're going to add to it 3 tablespoons of cocoa. And, you know, I'm not real specific with it. Like, I think, you know, it's a little bit more chocolatey. That's really nice, and we all like chocolate. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to let that mix up a little bit, okay? Okay, so now we're going to add This you gotta have hot water. I don't know why, but you need to have some hot water, okay? So you're supposed to do 2 tablespoons of boiling water. And we have the world's slowest sink. Okay, we're gonna get that in there. Oh, okay. Now we're gonna take this on over here. All right, so hopefully that didn't burn while we were waiting. We're gonna do another one. I just have to mention, did you see how spry I was there? I've been working out. I've been going to the gym in the mornings. I've been making Ron go with me. You know, it's actually been really good. I feel like I'm getting a little bit stronger, you know. Okay, so we're gonna mix that up. I think this should be on low heat. I think I had it a little high, so things are happening kind of fast. You know, now the thing with frosting is it can be a little bit tricky to do, especially the way that I'm doing it here. Okay, but I think that we're going to be okay. Okay, so there we have that. Now what we're going to do is we are going to put in a cup of powdered sugar. All right, so, and here we go. Cup of powdered sugar. We're going to mix that. Now, I think that we're definitely going to need some more water here. So, you know what I'm going to do? Oh, this is getting ridiculous. Okay, we're just going to go like this and just put a touch more, because the thing that we really want to get here is just a nice creamy texture, okay? And with this, it's just a little bit of like trial and error. You might add, oh, see, I added too much water because now it's a little bit runny. Oh, you know what I just realized I forgot? You're actually supposed to, oh man. You're actually supposed to put the powdered sugar through a strainer, but I forgot. So we're gonna have some lumpy frosting. All right, what are you gonna do? You know, it's my math. If I didn't do it at least once a show, you'd say, oh, Shirley, that's not really you. You've been taken over by aliens. You know, I'm so serious about that, right? Okay, so I'm just gonna keep on adding a little bit more, because what we're looking for, see, like, my sister would not be happy with this, you know? She's a baker, and, oh, geez Louise, she would say, oh, Shirley, what are you doing? Okay, but we're going to add a little more powdered sugar. Okay. I definitely added a little too much water. But, you know, it's working. It's working now. Probably had too much powdered sugar, and then we're going to have to go and add some more water, you know. What we're looking for is a consistency that is definitely a little bit thicker than that. So I'll put, you know, the stuff up on the site, the recipe. Oh, there, finally. Oh, there we go. Now, do you see, it's not too runny, because otherwise it's going to be dripping down the sides, which, you know, there's nothing wrong with that kind of frosting. But at the same time, you know, you want a little bit of density in there. Okay, look at me getting all scientific on you talking about density. Now, let me get a knife. I got my knife. Okay, now. Oh, see all those lumps in there? That's all right. It's chocolate cake, right? Now, what I like to do with this one is, if you do it so that it's not too thick. Oh, geez. See, I'm just having to, like, brush out all those. You know, I think that I really... Now, when you do this on your own, do use a strainer, okay? Now, because, see, what you want is, you want it to be thick enough so that you can really, like, kind of, it will stick kind of to the sides and stuff there, but like it's starting to get, just get a little bit too thick. So now we're just gonna put in like a quarter of a teaspoon, okay? We're not going back down that crazy road that we just came from, okay? But man, let me see if I can get the, okay, so we're just gonna put in a little tiny bit of water in there, okay? Mix that on up, because it's already starting to get, maybe there's another frosting tutorial I can send you to on YouTube, because I am afraid that this is, you know, it's a bit of a craziness. So, okay, there we go. Okay, so now we're just going to keep on adding it. And there, okay. So, you know, we're just going to say that this is just going to be a really tasty cake, but perhaps not, you know, one that you want to take to a cake competition. Okay, so I've been eating this cake, and the cake is magnifique. Okay, no, I mean it really. The cake is amazing. the frosting, it's a little bit thick. So I'm just going to post down below like the actual, things how to do it. And you should follow those instead of like watching me make a mess over here. Or, watch me make a mess and then feel better about your own cooking. But I have to say, even though the frosting is pretty thick, it's very delicious. So, as they say on the Food Network show, thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.